Baseball can be traced back to the 18th century, where it started as most fun games do, as a simple pastime played in the sandlot. This game was derived from the British game rounders. Rounders, much like baseball, is a ball and bat game that is played between two teams. Rounders is a team game that involves hitting a small, hard, leather-cased ball with a rounded end wooden bat. The players score by running around the 4 bases on the field, each team taking turns hitting and batting in each inning, a game that is popular among a lot of Irish and British school children. The earliest recordings of an organized game was in the United States in 1791, Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Later, the first organized team was founded for amateurs in September 23, 1845, as a social club for upper middle classes of New York City. This team, the New York Knickerbockers, was the first team to play under modern and organized rules. The Knickerbockers also competed in the first known competitive game under the new organized rules at Elysian Field in Hoboken, New Jersey, on June 19, 1846. However, the New York Knickerbockers lost 23-1 to the New York Nine, and the game began to spread and evolved. Baseball took off right after the Civil War in the 1860s. The New York-style baseball began to expand into a national game, and with teams and leagues forming across the nation, the National Association of Baseball Players was formed. Fun fact: Chicago Cubs, originally known as the Chicago White Stockings, is the oldest club to win a championship in 1870. And while being amongst one of the first to declare themselves a professional team, the White Stockings were also among the first to give baseball its popularity. This was due to the Great Chicago Fire that destroyed their field and all their equipment, but still didn't manage to stop them from making it to the championship that year. It was an inspiration to the people of Chicago that gave them hope that things would get better, and that they could work with whatever they had. This type of thinking became a symbol of baseball throughout time. This is the reason that I have found the game of baseball to be America's pastime. However, as it spread in popularity nationally, it also increased popularity internationally. Baseball has been spread ever since it was created. Because of large ports and naval bases around the world, this sport has been practiced in different countries for almost as long as it's been an official, professionally played sport in America. One place in particular that baseball is seen as a very popular pastime is Japan. In 1872, Horace Wilson, a veteran of the Civil War, introduced this game in Japan, and while it would take 30 years till teams were established, the sport soon became a regular pastime for Japan. In 1907, Japan established its first game that had a fee to watch. The very next year, several United States professional teams toured Japan and played against the amateur teams of Japan university students. It was soon realized that there was a need for a professional league in Japan, and in 1920, 2 professional teams were established. That same year, those teams from Japan toured Korea and Manchuria, once again spreading baseball further. Additionally, the Japanese would spread baseball to all of its territories, including Taiwan, as would the United States bring it to the Philippines during American rule in 1898. Additionally, American immigrants would soon spread the sport to countries such as Israel and Africa. Cubans studying in the United States in the 1870s would also catch on to this game, bringing it back to Cuba with them when they returned. Subsequently, a Cuban sugar trader would introduce it to a Dominican Republican. Later, in the 1930s to the 1950s, America would also reach out to places like Cuba in order to recruit talented players to improve the skills of their own team. Each of these countries encouraged other countries to not only compete but strive to be good at baseball. It spread very rapidly. Soon countries all over Asia and near large trading ports around the world began to play. The places then would challenge other countries, and thus a domino effect. Soon enough, countries began playing the sport to make it to the internationally recognized sport, which later led to the first World Championship in baseball. This World Championship was held in 1938 as teams from the United States and United Kingdom played a series of 5 games. Britain won 4 of them and became the first baseball World Championship holder. After this, the International Baseball Federation, the IBF, would be founded in 1938. With conflicts between countries, the name of this league would change a few times, before going back to its original name in 2000. And while the name changed, the international playing of baseball has continued to grow. This is very clearly shown by the pure fact that only 2 teams participated in the first World Cup. By 2009, 22 teams would be playing against each other for the title of the best in the world. Here is a short clip from one of the most recent World Cups held in Panama in 2011. In conclusion, as America traveled and spread this pastime with other countries, the sport will begin to be played by countries globally. And while baseball is an American pastime and will always be known as such, it has become a pastime that nations worldwide not only enjoyed watching, but love to play. From this, not only can we see global trends of sports, we can also see how the sharing of culture can enrich other cultures with new pastimes. America's pastime, or a world game,